Environmental justice advocate Kari Fulton joins me in the studio for some analysis. Kari, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
We make joke of how to organize our trash on our recycling, but this is really actually a very, very serious issue. So what Shanghai has done was pass pretty strong legislation that people have to do this or they're going to be fined. Can something like what's being done in Shanghai with sorting, organizing, different bin for each item, can something like that technically work at that level in the United States, in a city like Shanghai with 24 million people?
I think that it can, and we see it right now with the state of California and their plastic bag ban. So everyone had to figure out a way to get adjusted to changing their lives by bringing their own bag or figuring out a way to hold more stuff in your hands. So if we start having more environmental education, not just on an elementary level, but for all levels of the population, we can start making better recycling possibilities. Even like what you said, a different color for the bins, it starts right there.
But should people be fined, Kari, for not doing that?
I don't think people should be fined necessarily. I think that the bigger problem are the industries that create all of these different plastics and all of the different pollution, and they're not really maintaining it properly. So I don't think it should be up to the little person to have to be fined because they're confused as to what to do when there are all these regulations and there are all these programs that corporations can be doing to really address the issue.
Here in the United States, there's no national law mandates on recycling. There are state and local legislations or proposals, if you will. Should there be a federal law?
That's a great question. And you know, that goes back into the idea of should there be a federal law around climate change? Are all of these solutions going to work for the whole country? And that I just don't know. But I would say that if we put a federal regulation on the people who are actually making these products, I think that's a better idea.
When I was doing my research, I found out that 94%, majority of Americans actually support recycling, but only 34% are actually doing it. Does that number surprise you? That's not a big number.
Not at all, not at all. I think what happens is the convenience of recycling is just not there. So we tried with single stream, but then what you see is you have people, they throw things that have food on it, like you said, and now it can't really properly be recycled, or there's just not access to recycling bins in public places. So if we make recycling, one, understandable, and two, accessible, I think we'll increase our recycle usage.
And what about education, educating young kids from an early age? How important is that?
I think it's amazingly important because we've just educated children that they need to use these plastics. In so many communities, we've told children that the water that you have is dirty, so you need to get a plastic bottle. So we've reduced our ability to address infrastructure, real infrastructure issues by the convenience of plastic. Hey, your pipes are bad, here's a plastic bottle. There you go. But you know what it is? It's the rise of the mason jar.
Right.
You know, if we start thinking about how do you take something like this is a jelly jar, you can reuse this and use it as a water bottle, you can reuse it, put soup in it. Sure. There are so many options with simple things like this that we could be teaching ourselves so that we can reduce. And then that also encourages people to say, hey, what do we need to do about these pipes? Because that's a serious issue.
All right, we'll leave it there. Kari Fulton, thank you, as always.